Lieutenant Jake Morrison was halfway through cleaning his rifle when the message arrived. He had been assigned to patrol duty aboard the human vessel, UAS Liberty, for nearly 3 weeks, drifting along the fringes of charted space. The days blurred together, routine scans, system checks, endless stars stretching into silence. Nothing ever happened out here. That was the point. Amy Chen, the ship's communications officer, stopped beside his bunk. Her expression was tight, pale. One hand clutched a datapad, and Jake noticed her fingers trembling. "Jake," she said softly, "you need to see this." That alone was enough to make him uneasy. He set the rifle aside and accepted the datapad. The display showed an official transmission, but not from human command. The symbols were alien, elegant curves flowing like frozen liquid. At the top sat a seal Jake recognized instantly from Alliance briefings. The Kethran Empire. "You can read this?" Jake asked. Amy shook her head. "The computer translated it." "You're not going to like it." Jake activated the translation overlay. The words appeared in crisp English and made his stomach drop. "To Lieutenant Jake Morrison of the Human Fleet, by order of Her Imperial Majesty, Queen Zelnara of the Kethran Empire, you are commanded to appear before the royal throne for a private audience. Transport will arrive at your present location within 6 hours. This summons may not be refused or delayed. Lord Commander Vexer." Royal Guard. Jake read it again, then a third time. An alien queen wasn't requesting a meeting. She was ordering one. "This has to be a mistake," Jake muttered. Amy grabbed his arm. "It isn't. The codes are flawless." This came through secure diplomatic channels. Voices rose around them. Crew members had noticed. On a ship the size of the Liberty, news traveled fast. Captain Lisa Hayes pushed through the crowd. "Morrison," she said sharply. "My ready room, now." Captain Hayes shut the door behind them and leaned heavily against her desk. She'd served 20 years in space. Jake had seen her under fire, calm in chaos. He had never seen her look like this. "I've dealt with pirates. First contact border skirmishes," she said. "But I've never seen a summons like this. Do you have any idea why the Kethran Queen would want you specifically?" Jake shook his head. "No, ma'am. You've had contact with them before?" "3 times. Joint training at Europa Station. Civilian evacuation during the plague outbreaks. And Proxima Station." Her eyes sharpened. "Tell me about Proxima." Jake swallowed. That battle still followed him into his dreams. "We were escorting evacuation ships. The plague fleet had broken containment. Entire crews were infected, turned violent. We lost Captain Torres when the bridge was hit. You took command. For 20 minutes. He stared at the floor. Our destroyer was dead in space. No weapons. Barely any power. The plague ships were closing in on 1,800 civilians trying to reach the jump point. What did you do?" "The only thing left." Jake's voice was quiet. "I ordered a ramming course." Silence filled the room. "You survived?" Hayes asked. "Escape pods launched seconds before impact. Most of the crew made it out." He hesitated. "We lost 43. Captain Hayes nodded slowly. "And you think that's why the Queen summoned you?" "I don't know." A chime interrupted them. "Captain," the bridge reported. "Kethran vessel approaching. Royal codes confirmed." Hayes exhaled. "They're early." She stood. "Pack a bag. Dress uniforms. Anything formal, ma'am." "What if this is a trap?" "It isn't," she said firmly. "The Kethrans don't play games with diplomacy." The alien transport was waiting in docking bay. It looked nothing like a human ship. The hull shimmered like living crystal, glowing blue-green beneath the bay lights. 2 towering Kethran guards stepped out, skin like polished stone, eyes dark and unreadable. "Lieutenant Morrison," one said through a translator. "I am Commander Rextel. Please come aboard." Jake hesitated only once long enough to meet Captain Hayes' eyes. "Represent humanity well," she said. As Jake stepped into the transport, the crew of the Liberty erupted into cheers. Then the door closed. The interior felt unreal. Light came from everywhere at once. The air smelled faintly floral. The chair molded itself to Jake's body as he sat. 6 hours later. Commander Rextel still refused to explain the reason for the summons, but when Jake mentioned the Plague Wars, everything changed. The guards grew still, focused. You fought at Proxima Station? Rextel asked. Yes. A glance passed between the aliens. You sacrificed your ship, Mortex, the healer said quietly. It was already lost. They said nothing more. The eternal dawn eclipsed the stars. It wasn't just a ship, it was a city, a palace floating through space. Kilometers of crystal spires surrounded by fleets in perfect formation. Jake had never felt so small. The throne room erased his breath. Stars surrounded him. Galaxies moved along the walls. At the center sat Queen Zulnara, ancient, immense, her presence crushing and awe-inspiring. Lieutenant Jake Morrison, she said. Approach. When the guards vanished, she spoke softly. What do you believe makes humanity special? Jake answered honestly. You don't give up. The Queen showed him Proxima Station from her perspective. Then she revealed the truth. Her daughter, aboard the evacuation ships, saved by Jake's choice. The cure that ended the plague exists. Because you bought time, Queen Zelnara said. You saved both our civilizations. She lifted a crystal burning with living light. The heart of Zelmuth, she said. For 3,000 years. This honor belonged only to my bloodline. She placed it in his hands. You are the 8th. Jake returned to his ship, changed forever. Still a lieutenant. Still human, but now a bridge between civilizations and proof that sometimes the fate of the galaxy turns on one ordinary person doing the right thing without ever knowing who they're saving.